Hey everybody, I am coming to you from the beautiful country of Tonga. I'm here with my wife and my three oldest kids, and my wife did some study abroad when she was in college, and she met some wonderful people in Tonga, and so we came here to visit them. And while we're here, I figured I'd make a video, and I wanted to relate it to something that maybe some of you guys would like to know how to do. So let's say I'm here and I continue to get emails from different wholesalers, and I find a property that I really like. Well, how can I, from here, from Tonga, be able to buy a property in an area that I'm not currently in? How do I buy a property if I haven't gone and seen it and walked it myself? So there are 6 things that you want to keep in mind when you're buying a property that you haven't gone and visited yourself, okay? But before those 6 things, the one other thing that's really important to know is, do I know the person that is trying to wholesale me this property? Okay, do I know them? Because if I don't know them, then I'm not going to buy from somebody that I don't know or haven't done a deal with if I haven't gone to see the property. But if I know the person, then I'm going to feel more comfortable buying that property sight unseen. And the reason is because they want to maintain a good relationship with me because I'm a buyer. I buy lots of properties. So they want to maintain a good relationship with me so that they can sell me more properties in the future. Because basically, if you burn me as a wholesaler, then no, I'm not going to do more deals with you. I get tons of emails from wholesalers every day sending out all of their wholesale deals. And I probably look through between 50 and 100 wholesale deals every day. But I can do that in like 10 minutes or less because I know the area in which I buy in, and I know the type of property that I look to buy. And I know the price points that I'm looking for. So if the emails that I get show properties that aren't in areas that I buy in, that are priced too high or not the type of property that I want to buy, then I can quickly just pass by those and not spend much time looking at them. But if it's in an area that I buy in, then I'm going to look more deeply at this property. And as I'm looking at the property, I'm going to take a look at the photos. Most wholesalers send wholesale deals including the photos. Now, I'm not going to be able to see everything in the photos. So the first thing I'm going to do, again, is look at the price point and decide, yes, this would be the price point that I'd be interested in. Yes, it's in the area that I'm interested in. And yes, it's the type of property that I would like. Then I'm going to be looking at those photos, and I'm going to estimate about how much the property is going to cost to rehab. And the way I do that is I'm going to look at the property and I'm going to see, okay, does it need a new kitchen? Does it need new flooring? What is it that it needs? And then I'm going to compare that to the last properties that I've rehabbed to get a good estimate about how much it's going to cost. Then what I do is I take a look at the purchase price, I add to it the amount that I'm going to rehab, and then I take a look at how much it's going to be worth. And the way I do that is because I'm really familiar with the market, I can estimate more or less about how much this property should be worth. And that's another thing that's going to be really important is if you're going to buy a property sight unseen, you need to know what the market is like where you're going to be buying that property. If you're not familiar with that market, then you need to do more research in becoming familiar with that market. So you can take a look at a property quickly and determine if there's enough margin into that property in order to make you money. In other words, I need to buy it here, rehab it here, and then it needs to be worth much more in order for me to buy that property. Okay, and so just to give you kind of some numbers to make it easy, let's say I buy the property at $180,000, I can put $40,000 into it, and then it's going to be worth, let's say, $280,000. That for me would be something that I would probably buy, or if I could get it to value at $300,000, even better. But those are numbers that I would work with. So let's say I see this property and it looks good. The rehab is within my budget. So I'm going to go ahead and call the wholesaler and I'm going to ask them 6 questions. The first question I'm going to ask is, how is the roof? Because I might not be able to see what the roof is like and the condition through the pictures. I might be able to see it, the wholesaler might show it to me, but if they don't, then I am going to need to know how much that roof is going to cost, because that may increase my budget by $10,000. So after I figure out how much the roof costs, I'm going to ask, how's the plumbing? Is the plumbing good? Is there issues with the plumbing? One of the reasons it's so important to ask about the plumbing is because I have purchased properties without plumbing to the house. That's right. They just didn't have plumbing to the house. It may have had hauled water at some point, but at this point in time, it didn't even have water coming to the house. So we had to dig a well, which cost like $40,000. And so again, it's really important to ask what the plumbing is to the property. Because again, a plumbing issue is going to mean that I might need to replace the floors. I might need to trench in the house and replace, iron pipe or something like that. So I'm going to ask first, how's the roof? Second, how's the plumbing? Then I'm going to ask, how is the foundation? Because again, I might not know what the foundation is like just by looking at the pictures. Is it built on, cement? Are there cracks in the cement? Are there wood joists? And if there are wood joists, did termites eat half of them? So I might not know that if I don't ask that question. So again, how's the roof? How's the plumbing? How's the foundation? Next, I'm going to ask, how's the electrical? If this house has really, really old electrical, then I might need to rewire the whole house. And again, that might be a $10,000 fix. So it's really important to know these big ticket items. Next, I'm going to ask, how is the HVAC or the heating and the cooling? Is the unit really old? Does it not even have an AC unit? I've had properties that have swamp coolers, and nowadays I don't know if anybody buys a house to live in with a swamp cooler. So I'm going to need to replace an HVAC, and with the cost of all of these going up, it might be really expensive for me to replace an HVAC. It might be $7,000 or $8,000. So again, that's a big ticket item that I'm going to need to know. So those are 5 things that I'm going to ask the wholesaler if I'm going to buy that property without walking it myself. And can you guess the 6th thing that I ask? It's something that you cannot see in the pictures. Well, maybe you guessed it, maybe you didn't. I'm going to ask, how does the property smell? Because if they had animals, then it's likely that the property smells like animals. That tells me I'm going to have to replace the carpet, or I'm going to have to paint the whole house. I might need to even paint the ceiling in order to get rid of really bad smells such as animal odors or smoking. I recently bought a property where the old homeowners were heavy smokers, so it made the entire house smell like smoke. And whereas that may not bother some people, it's probably going to bother the majority of people. So it's really important that you know, how does that property smell? So that's it. Those are the 6 things that I would encourage you to ask the wholesaler or even a realtor if you're going to buy a property sight unseen. Well, hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, then please subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and I wish you good luck investing in real estate. Have a fantastic day.